In this video, I'm gonna share with you how to shoot amazing landscape photography while being in the snow. And for this, I'm not sure if you can see behind me, but I am at Trecime di Lavaredo, the famous point which is in the Dolomites. I'm still in the Dolomites. I spent about like 2.5 weeks here, and I almost could not come to this point today because the parking at the bottom was closed because the last few days it rained quite a bit, and since temperatures dropped, then there was quite a bit of snow. As you can see around me, it's all white, and so I needed this morning to wait at the entrance because you've got a toll. I needed to wait at the toll to see if I could go up to the mountain. And finally, it was not possible to access it with vehicles. So I had to climb up until here. It was about like an hour and a half hike, very pleasant hike, although a little bit challenging in some places because there were a little bit of ice. And now I am here, and this place is just paradise now because it's a lot of fresh snow, untouched snow, as you can see around me, and this is wonderful. So I'm gonna share with you some few tips about how to shoot amazing landscape photography with snow. So let's keep in touch. So as you can see now, I am not on the main front of the Trecime. If you look behind me, I am on one of the side, which is kind of an unusual view, but a very good one. I mean, I was like scrolling a little bit on Instagram to check, like, okay, which pictures could I check that changes a little bit from what we used to see in this place, and this is one of them. And basically, when you arrive at the bottom, at the base of the Trecime, then there is kind of a refuge, and oops, camera, a refuge, and there you just basically go right instead of continuing left to go around the mountain and go to the main face. And basically here there are a lot of stones and a lot of interesting things. And the key point here is that I wanted to share with you is the equipment that I'm going to use. I'm going to use my wide angle, and no other lens here will do it for this subject. And the reason is very simple, is that it's too big. It's just too big. I mean, I've got like 10 millimeters, and that's just enough. I wish I had 12 millimeters. This is on full frame, but 8 millimeters on my APS-C, so that I could get it like with a very ample pictures, like a lot of skies, the subject, and a lot of foreground. But yeah, I'm kind of limited, and that's really interesting because then that forces me to look for interesting foregrounds. And now I'm gonna start looking for foregrounds, and I for sure will find something. I just need to make sure I find the right ones. So I'm gonna look for this, and I speak to you once I found something. So I am basically now walking through the snow and looking for interesting foregrounds. And what I'm looking for now, these are stones, because they're like all these stones with like some strides inside the stones, but I'm trying to find the perfect one so that I can get something interesting that gives me a little bit of perspective, and of course an interesting foreground. And I think I found something here. Yeah, I found something. Actually, I passed in front of it just before, but on the other direction. And I'm gonna show it to you. I'm not sure if you can see it. So that's the stone, and there is a small tree here, and I'm gonna try to just basically put myself down here and shoot this this beautiful stone, and yeah, use my wide angle. And the important part here is like to really get low on the ground and make sure that you've got like a bottom up approach, so that you really give a lot of importance to this stone on the foreground. And the subject is anyway very big, so that's not going to be an issue. So I'm going to take some few shots here, and I'm going to share them with you. I think that's going to be really nice. I'm going to try to do them both on a portrait orientation and landscape orientation, so that we've got like different types of shots. So I'm gonna do this right now and share this with you in a moment. Another interesting tip about foreground, and something which I think is really important when you're shooting in the snow. And here it's not the perfect place for this, but I found something right here which is kind of nice, and I'm gonna show it to you. I hope you will be able to see something because the sun is still fairly strong, so you might be able to see just only white stuff. But here on the foreground, if you look here, like there are like some interesting shapes in the snow. And that's actually exactly what I am looking for here. These are interesting shapes that gives kind of some, of course, an interesting foreground, but either some perspectives or which gives like kind of a rounded feeling around the subject. And here it's more like about perspective, and it's really nice because I mean, it's really nice here because I don't know if you can see around, but since these are the first snow, and this was not a huge quantity either, not everything is covered. So you've got a mix of grass, a mix of pines, mix of stones, and that gets a little bit complicated to find like the nice shapes. And I've got that one, so I'm gonna also take some few shots here and share them with you because I think they are like they can be interesting. So I guess I'm gonna take 2 shots and maybe more if I find other shapes on the way, but I'm gonna take one in portrait and one in landscape orientation, and let's see what it gives, and hopefully it gives something really nice. Another thing you really need to be cautious about when you're shooting in the snow, these are footsteps. Basically, before I was like walking around some stones, and then I realized that they were nice stones to create a foreground, but I walked all around and there were like all my footsteps around, and basically it kind of destroyed the picture in the foreground, so I could not shot my pictures, and that's really unfortunate. And that's really something you need to think about when you observe and when you look for foreground in the snow. Then try to look really far ahead and try to make sure that you don't walk where you might have actually your interesting part. If you have a doubt, then just go with your doubt and just go around and make sure that you have something interesting. Because if you destroy it, it's not like water where you walk on it and then, well, the water will come and the beach will, the sand beach will kind of be covered again. Now with snow, it's over. When you destroy the snow, it's over. You can still remove, of course, the footsteps in post-processing, but you want to avoid doing that much of these things in post-processing. So, of course, if you have no other choices, then it's gonna be like this. But if not, then try to really be careful. And now I'm very cool because there is no one where I am. I'm the only one, but there are a lot of hikers that go to the main part, the one I was mentioning earlier in the video. And that's where I'm gonna head afterwards. And I know that up there, it's gonna be pretty much a disaster because people will have walked all around, and it's gonna be like a lot of destroyed snow. So I'm gonna see up there what can I do. Sometime I also can take my shot and kind of try to reconstruct the snow in post-processing. It's possible. It's not something I enjoy doing, something I like doing, but if I have no other choice, then I would do it. But I'm gonna try to find also some angles where I have no problem with footsteps. So yeah, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna speak to you once I'm up there and once I have a different view. I'm so sorry to interrupt here, but for the next 2 or 3 minutes, I had an issue with the video, but I still had the sound recording. So I'm gonna play the sound, show you a little bit what I was recording with the photographing camera, and talk about the place and the white balance. So let's continue. Welcome back. As I said, I talked to you once I'm on the other side, and there is a very good reason why this side is probably more popular than any other side, although each side of this place is incredible. And you know, the fear I had at the bottom when I said like people walking around and so on, that's actually not really true, because now I found a place that there is pretty much no one. People are more down there, and basically there is no footsteps, and it's amazing because it's more windy here. And the beauty of wind with the snow is that it creates patterns in the snow, patterns and shapes. And I'm recording with the other camera, and you might be able to see it on one side or the other, I'm not sure yet. And the shape that you're seeing now, they're just amazing. I've been taking some few pictures now, and I guess they are like kind of portfolio pictures, because these are unique pictures that you probably take once in your lifetime, because the snow will move around, it will snow again, people will walk on it, so this picture will be unique. And this is just incredible. I'm so happy about it. Of course, the scenery is kind of usual, because that's something that we know, that we've seen thousands of times. But if you add to it a very nice foreground, something that really changes, then oh my god, that just makes it so great. And now I'm like such a lucky guy, I have to say. Like, really amazing. I'm so happy. I'm gonna continue. And oh guys, there is one thing I forgot to talk to you about. The white balance. The white balance is extremely important when you're shooting with snow. So depending on your camera, I have the luck to have a camera that kind of sets the white balance like perfectly well with snow. But I heard of some others that are not really working so well, and then they are like, you might tend to have like a little bit of bluish color. Try to take a picture with your phone. Your phone will take kind of a bluish picture. That's not a big deal. Either you fix it directly in your camera on site, but then don't forget to unfix it afterwards, or you just like wait until you're home and then you just change your white balance on all your pictures at once. I would prefer the second solution, so that I don't alter anything in my camera that I would forget later on and then regret. And well, that would not be a big deal because it's white balance, it's easy to fix. But still, you'd rather get the white balance afterwards. And if your camera gets it right, then you're good. So usually, yeah, if it tends to go too blue, then try to go a little bit on the warmer side of the spectrum. I think that's going to be very helpful. So yeah, oh my god, I'm waiting a little bit that the sun goes behind those mountains, and then I'm going to take some other shots. Hopefully it's going to be great. And the sunset is not really late, so it's going to be cool as well. I might talk to you during sunset too. Alright guys, nice to see you again. So I'm finally walking back. I'm gonna start to head back to my motorhome because well, the view is still amazing, but the light won't really be present this evening. I think there was some kind of a very interesting diffused light in the afternoon, and that's what I got, and this is the interesting light. So I had to stay about an hour and a half at the same point waiting for the sun to hide behind the mountains so that it doesn't get way too strong on my pictures. And that was the little trick here. But amazing foregrounds, amazing snow, amazing perspectives. So yeah, I'm really happy. And now I'm gonna get back, as I said, to my motorhome, and I think I'm gonna share with you some few tips about photographing in the snow and show you maybe a little more examples about this. So I guess we meet there, and wish me good luck, and hopefully I don't get too wet because, well, I don't want to get sick and it's gonna be cold. So yeah, All right, we speak in a bit. Ciao, ciao. Welcome back. So I finally came back to my camper, but I didn't really have time to record at the end of this video, so I'm doing it a bit later. And I am now in Madeira, in this beautiful island, which is part of Portugal, which is in the Atlantic Ocean. It's really amazing. I'm gonna release some few videos soon, and I hope you're gonna enjoy them. In the meantime, I wanted to share with you some few more examples of how you can take some few photographs with including snow, and I think it's really important to have some few examples, few ideas of what you can do, maybe that can inspire you. I probably don't have an exhaustive list because of course you can have like really hundreds and hundreds of composition types, but I guess that gives a little bit of direction and that can be helpful to any of you. So I'm going to switch to the computer and we're going to take a look at this. So the first category I wanted to share with you is trees. Basically, it's very easy to take amazing pictures of trees with snow, especially when the snow is all over the branches on the ground and it's untouched. It's really perfect. It's really important to keep this the tree separated from the sky or from its foreground, so to avoid messy pictures. Here, for example, I could have been a little lower, but I think this still works, so that's still fine. And we've got a little bit of the shadow here at the bottom of the trunk, so it's really amazing, and that creates really a minimalist effect, and that's what's beautiful with tree. So I got the same tree in here with like on landscape orientation, which is definitely great. So similarly, like really separated. I've got some other trees here, some other examples. So here it was snowing a lot, and if we zoom in, we can see that there is a lot of snow in front of the tree. I've got another picture here of similar trees. So they were all taken in Switzerland like 1 or 2 years ago, and yeah, like really amazing conditions. So I really encourage you to look at trees and try to photograph them in the way you want. You feel really important, but important to separate them from their foreground. The next category is unique moments. So in my opinion, unique moments are really something that you go somewhere, you just see it, and you've got to snap. So you've got to be quick because these are moments that are like happening quickly and that you will never expect. So this is one I took here in Norway, in the Arctic Circle. So I was passing by on the road. There was a small parking. So I just stopped by, took my my camera and just snapped. And I took 2-3 shots. And then after that, the clouds moved. The light was not the same. So that was like really a unique moment. So really something great. I have this one as well, which was in Switzerland at a lake. Normally here this is a lake, but now it's frozen. And I just arrived and the clouds like started rolling over the mountain. That was like a wonderful moment, but that lasted 10 seconds. I basically arrived at the place, this happened, and then nothing visible anymore. So really great. The next category is about foreground and leading lines. And leading lines is something I really like to do. It's something that really gives amazing feeling in the photographs and that really helps you drive the eyes into the photographs towards the subject. So that's what I have in this picture here. So this is Fitzroy, untouched snow as well, like really amazing moment. Where the snow was just like in perfect shape right in front of this wonderful peak. I do have something similar which I took the same morning, so it's a little bit more messy, but it still drives the eyes towards the peak, so it's really great. This is another picture I took in the Lofoten Islands last year, and again leading lines with the fence here going all the way towards the mountain, which are like right at the center or a little bit on the right of the picture. And this one, which is a shot I took in Switzerland a few years back, it's still great and it still leads your eyes towards the peak, so definitely great. The next category, this one is also amazing. It's a little bit like unique moments, but I call it unique lights. So this is basically when you arrive somewhere where there is snow, and when there is snow, the lights tend to be a little, because it's winter, the light is a little bit softer, and the snow kind of makes everything white and yellow, and that really helps to give a great atmosphere. And this is an amazing experience. So that was shot in Senja Island last year as I was in the Arctic Circle, and really a unique moment here. Next one is a little bit more, let's say, abstract. So I was like shooting with my telephoto lens XF55 to 200 millimeters, and just captured those few trees that were going out of the tree or bushes, I don't know, going out of the snow, and with a backlit with the sunlight that was like going down. So really an amazing moment, and something to consider when you want to shoot this type of photographs. And the last category, it's long exposure. So long exposure is something that always gives amazing results, but when you combine it with snowy conditions, oh my god, that's just wonderful. And so this is another shot I took in the Lofoten Islands last year, where the mountains on the background are all snowy, and the water on the foreground like just started like having amazing shapes. So yeah, got a little bit lucky with this shot, but really a nice one. And the next one, similar thing, it's also in the Lofoten Islands last year, where I basically did a long exposure at Utaklief Beach, and that was like really great with snowy conditions. So it really gives this blue feeling, which is I don't know, peaceful, and in the same time a little bit like disturbing and chaotic, so dramatic. So yeah, something really cool. So that's pretty much it with this video. I hope that you learned something that was helpful for you, and that you really had a lot of fun watching it, and that now you will take better snow photography. And with that, I wish you good luck with your photography, and see you next week for new adventures.